Alrighty, so in this case, we're still talking correlation, and now they're talking correlation coefficients. And so the idea is if they're scattered about like this, just totally random, no relationship, no correlation between x and y, the correlation coefficient will be 0. Let's find more useful examples. So in this case, correlation coefficient. So if it's a positive slope, the correlation coefficient will be positive, so we can eliminate any negative options. And we know that there is some sort of pattern or correlation, so we know that it's not 0. So it must be one of the, actually positive ones. And the idea is the more tightly packed these points are, in other words, the closer they are to this line, the closer to 1 the correlation coefficient will be. It's important to recognize that correlation coefficients sort of range from -1 to 1, including -1 and 1. And so the closer they are to 1, the closer these points are to the line, right? So like a scatter plot that has points that are pretty much forming a line would be super, super close to 1. And so if we see these points kind of spread out away from this line, then we can say that it's probably a little further away from 1. And you can probably see the answer already. So 0.65, it's usually between 0.65 or 0.9, and hopefully 0.9 will be more obvious. So we'll see some examples of those as well. All right, so in this case, right away, we see this negative slope line. So we're looking at one of the negative options, so no positive or 0 options. And then comparing it to the last one, we see this kind of wide array of points. We see this barely tighter array, like a range of points. I don't know, just barely. I think it's just enough to call it -0.9. And what we'll do, let's like kind of compare it. Let's see a 0.65, a -0.65 right next to it and see how it looks. So let's see if I can move this up here actually. That's not what I wanted. Hold up, give me 1 sec, please. Let's do that. Okay. So side by side, we see -0.9, and obviously you can see the answer is -0.65 here. And so it's very subtle, but hopefully it's enough to tell that like these are more tightly packed than these ones. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of just if it's negative, if it's 0.65, they're a little more spread out than the 0.9. I don't know. That's pretty much all you're looking for in this case. I think that's all the examples I have. So hopefully this comparison here helps. I wish I had had a 0.9 for the positive relationship, but hopefully all these are enough. If you have any questions on correlation coefficient, please let me know.